Let's talk about Anthony Scaramucci. It's really, really bad for brand new White House communications director Anthony Scaramucci. To catch you up, Sean Spicer resigned over the hiring of this guy. He had a huge history of anti-Trump tweets, and people found them. So Scaramucci went on his Twitter account and started deleting them in a panic, as if you can't just find deleted tweets on the internet.
And they're gone forever.
It's like Trump thinks you fire someone and no problems can come from that. Scaramucci thinks I'll just delete tweets. It's like they never happened. And then he gave a totally unintelligible explanation as to why he was deleting the tweets. Then he went on TV just hours after being hired, outed Donald Trump as his source on some Russian hacking assertions. And we later found out that Trump's source on that same talking point was actually Vladimir Putin. So within hours of being hired, the director of White House communications goes on national corporate media and parrots Kremlin talking points. And now Scaramucci has put out a truly bizarre tweet and then deleted it, apparently realizing it wasn't a good idea. He tweeted last night that he was going to get in touch with federal officials because of what he called a felonious leak of his financial disclosure, tweeting, "In light of the leak of my financial disclosure info, which is a felony, I will be contacting the FBI and the Justice Department. Hashtag swamp." And he tagged Reince Priebus there. That's part of it, okay? Then he deleted the tweet. So a lot to discuss here. First of all, what was he referring to? Scaramucci was referring to a story that was published by Politico, which reported that the new White House communications director, Scaramucci, is continuing to profit from the sale of his hedge fund, which is called Skybridge Capital. Now, was there a leak? The forms that Politico references are publicly available, according to Politico. Number two, and this is where it really starts to get completely bizarro world, Scaramucci is accusing White House Chief of Staff Reince Priebus of something, since he included Priebus in that tweet. And what he's accusing him of seems to be that Priebus himself might be the leaker at the White House. Scaramucci has been trying to take this tough attitude on leakers, actually saying something like, if I have to fire everyone in our department other than myself and the new White House press secretary, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, to stop the leaks, I will do that. That's what it very clearly seemed that Scaramucci was doing by including Reince Priebus in these tweets. But he went on CNN this morning and I guess kind of said that's not what he was doing. But then he basically dared Reince Priebus to deny being the leaker. It's all very weird. Take a listen to this.
I don't like the activity that's going on in the White House. I don't like what they're doing to my friend. I don't like what they're doing to the President of the United States or their fellow colleagues in the West Wing. Now, if you want to talk about the Chief of Staff, we have had odds, we have had differences. When I said we were brothers from the podium, that's because we're rough on each other. Some brothers are like Cain and Abel. Other brothers can fight with each other and then get along. I don't know if this is repairable or not. That will be up to the President. But he's the Chief of Staff. He's responsible for understanding and uncovering and helping me do that inside the White House, which is why I put that tweet out last night.
Yeah.
When the journalists who actually know who the leakers are, like Ryan Lizard, they know the leakers. Jonathan Swain at Axio, these guys know who the leakers are. I respect them for not telling me because I understand and respect journalistic integrity. However, when I put out a tweet and I put Reince's name in the tweet, they're all making the assumption that it's him because journalists know who the leakers are. So if Reince wants to explain that he's not a leaker, let him do that.
So basically he's saying, yeah, I mean, even if I'm not saying Reince is the leaker, if people are saying that that's what I'm saying, it might be because they know who it is and can infer that I'm saying that that's who it is because independently they know that's who it is. I mean, it's a crazy logic. But then New Yorker reporter Ryan Lizza, who was mentioned there by Scaramucci, investigated and confirmed that, yes, Scaramucci does want Reince Priebus investigated, tweeting, in case there's any ambiguity in his tweet, I can confirm that Scaramucci wants the FBI to investigate Reince for leaking. This is big trouble, right? I don't know if this is repairable. It's up to the president, blah, blah, blah. Scaramucci's in, Spicer is out, is Priebus maybe out? And you've been saying for a while, Pat, that you believe Reince Priebus is one of the top names on the chopping block here to go next.
It's possible. I mean, when you talk about Scaramucci versus Priebus, I don't think Trump has any loyalty to either one because, you know, obviously the White House is in chaos right now with all the scandals, with all the leaks. And who do you blame for that? Most likely your chief of staff, which Reince Priebus is. And then Scaramucci, months or years ago, said that Trump was a hack politician.
Yeah, we had that clip earlier.
How can he be loyal to either one of those guys?
Trump may not even really understand how these problems grow because his lack of understanding as to how to make problems go away suggests to me he probably doesn't even really understand how problems like these develop. And this is absurd public infighting. It's now between the Trump White House Director of Communications and the Chief of Staff. You've got public tension between the president and the Attorney General, between the president and the acting FBI director, between the president and the special prosecutor.
It's like March Madness. Who's going to win?
It's like we need a bracket, really, to figure this out. And our new poll at davidpakman.com asks exactly that question, which is, who do you believe will go next, either through resignation or firing from the Trump administration? You can vote at davidpakman.com. And then next week, we'll have the results. Now, we may also have an answer by next week. Like by the time we even tell you the results, somebody may have already been fired or resigned, but we will see. Today's episode of The David Pakman Show is made possible in part by Warby Parker eyeglasses. Warby Parker recently did the right thing and ditched advertising on right-wing conspiracy website Breitbart, pulling their ads off. And you can get the free 5-day home try-on from Warby Parker. Check out their glasses. I use them when I'm not wearing contact lenses. I started with the free at-home trial. They send you 5 pairs of glasses. You see which ones you like. You send them back, and whichever one you pick, they will put your prescription into. I like this because I can actually show the glasses to other people and not have to just decide on the spot like in an eyeglass store. The eyeglass industry is controlled by very few corporations that keep the prices very, very high, even over $300 for prescription glasses. With Warby Parker, they start at just $95. Mine costs that, including lenses. And for every pair sold, they give a pair to someone in need. So to try the 5 pairs and support The David Pakman Show, go to warbyparkertrial.com/TDPS.